So we will be starting with the next topic, and your presentations will be at the end of the lecture. So we will be moving towards actual Python syntax and all. So starting with the Python syntax, we will be learning what are the statements, how the statements are written in the Python. What do you mean by Python statements? What are the Python comments? So when you are writing the code in the Python, you are writing the comments inside the your code,
Yeah.
and then indentation. So learning through practice. It's not only the case that you are just learning by reading the books.
Yes.
Actually practice the programming, do the programming a lot, and through programming, doing the programming, you should learn. It should not the case that you are just reading out the slides, reading out the books, reading out the matter on the Google, or you are reading the ebooks. No. So you should practice, you should program and program. Lot of programming. Even during sleeping, you should have the dreams of programming. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so next we are moving towards, so we will be covering these topics. First, we will be starting with the statements, comments, and indentation. So rest of the topics we will be covering in next. So first is we talk about the statements. So what do you mean by Python statement? So whatever the line you are writing in the code, right? So when you are writing the program, so there are number of lines one by one that are written in the program. So if you speak out in a layman language, so one line in that program can be considered as statement. No doubt that is not a right definition, but to explain you, I am just telling you. So what is Python statement? So basically the instructions that a Python interpreter can execute are called statements. So what has been mentioned over here is instructions that a Python interpreter, we know that Python is a interpreting language. So
Yes, sir.
whatever the instructions the Python can interpret is called statement. So instructions that a Python interpreter can execute are called statements. So let's take the example. If we have written an assignment statement, we are assigning some value to a variable a. So a is a variable over here, and we are assigning the value 1 to it, and we are writing the Python statement, which is further an assignment statement. We are writing a equal to 1. So this is an assignment statement. So no doubt it is a Python statement, and in Python it is one of the category assignment statement, because assignment operator has been used over here. Equal to is an assignment operator. So if statement, for statement, while statement, etc. are other kind of statements. So we'll be coming. So these are the looping statements and conditional statements. So if is one of the keyword, for is one of the keyword, while is another keyword. So on, number of such keywords are there, and these are the kind of statements. So this was a single line statement, what we have seen, a equal to 1. Now we can have multi-line statement also. In Python, sometimes there is a limitation of space, but your instruction is long. So we need to take that instructions extended to 2 or more lines. So how can we extend that statement to 2 or more lines? So we say that this is multi-line statement. So in Python, the end of a statement is marked by a new line character. So new line character means we are pressing the enter over there. So statement is finished. But we can make a statement extend over multiple lines with the line continuation character backward slash. So you're looking at the slide, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus then backward slash. It means this statement is continued to the next line also. So if you remember, so whenever I think you are writing in your English language, so hyphen is used for continuing some word from one line to another line when it is not finished up over there. So here we are continuing the previous line to next line by putting the backslash over here in the Python. So it is multi-line statement. So this is an explicit line continuation. It is not implicit some word, right? Anything I am
Yes.
asking you. So do not always correlate with the programming language. First of all, whatever you are finding any words in the language, so correlate with the English language. In English language, what do you mean by implicit? What do you mean by explicit? Then we will be correlating with the Python language. Implicit. Implicit means automatically within, right? And
Yeah, it's
explicit means some
inside. Yeah.
external factor has been added over there. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
So when you are writing some line in the Word, right? Word file, you are writing something into the Word file, you keep on writing, right? When the line is finished, it will automatically go to the next line. What is it? It is implicit. Automatically it has taken you to the next line. It is implicit. You are not forcing it to go to the next line. Got it?
Okay, sir.
But when
Yes,
you are
sir.
talking about explicit, then you are explicitly putting some character over there, so that you are breaking it to the next, you are taking it to the next line. So here you are putting backslash over here, but space was there to continue the statement in the same line, but you have put backward slash over here. So it means this is explicit
Explicit.
line continuation. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now in Python, line continuation is implied. Implied means
Automatic.
automatic. We say that it is implied. Why you're asking me? This is implied. What do you mean by that? Yes, Prem Sankar, automatically acceptable. We can say automatically implemented, right? So here, if you are putting multi lines and then enclosing in the parenthesis, right? So it means it will be considered as the single statement spread over multi lines. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So you can see the example over here. We have not put the backslash over here, but we have put the open parenthesis and closed parenthesis. We have put into the brackets. So it means this is implicit.
Implicit.
So it is implied. It is considered that automatically this is the part of this line. Then here the surrounding parentheses do the line continuation implicitly. Fine. Then same is the case with the square brackets or curly braces. Fine. So if you are putting the multiple things, multiple lines in the square brackets, it will be considered as single statement, one statement, but spread into multiple lines. We can put multiple statements in a single line using semicolon as well. So here there is a difference. That was a single statement. Here we are saying that we are putting multiple statements in a single line. So A equal to 1 is one statement, B equal to 2 is another statement, C equal to 3 is another statement. But we want to save space. I do not want to make very long page. So these are the small statements. So I want to write in a single line. So we are putting the semicolon after each statement. So A equal to 1 semicolon, B equal to 2 semicolon, C equal to 3. So now three statements has been written in a single line. So we can put multiple statements in a single line using semicolon. Got my point? Python statement, multi-line statement, and multiple statements in a single line. Now, indentation. Yes, whenever you are reading the book, fine, any book, any
Okay, sir.
programming book, any novel, whatever, you look, you can find that it is formatted very beautifully, isn't
Okay, sir.
it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So whenever you are reading, you know that now next page comes, next chapter comes, next paragraph comes. This is the end of the paragraph. This is the start of the paragraph. Am I right? Are you able to find out? So we can say that
Yes,
is the
sir.
indentation of that book. Fine. So now whenever you are writing any program, Python forget about right now. Whenever you are writing program in any language, whether it is C, it is C++, it is Java, it is Python, it is Perl, it is PHP, whatever. Suppose it is a 2 3 line code, then it's okay. You are able to understand which code is the sub part of which. But it is if the code is so long, thousands of lines are there, and you are not indentating your program, then it will be really difficult for you to understand your code. Fine. So most of the programming language like C, C++, Java uses braces to define a block. Whenever we have if you talk about for loop, if you talk about while loop, right? If you talk about a block of statements, right? So when there are block of statements, you are enclosing that code inside the curly braces in the case of C, C++, and Java. If there are multiple lines in your program, you need to enclose in the braces. Okay. But when you are talking about Python, so braces are not used. But what is being used is indentation. Okay, to represent that under this number of lines of codes are there. So next line is a code block. Code block means, like, if you look at this example below, for I in range 1 comma 11, it means this is a for loop, and in this for loop there are multiple lines of code. So if we are writing the same for loop where we have number of lines of code to be written inside this for loop, we were using braces in the case of C, C++, Java or other languages. But when we are talking about Python, so you will be just indenting the lines of code inside the for loop. So it will consider that this is the code block for loop. Fine. So a code block, body of function, loop, etc., starts with the indentation and ends with the first unindented line. The amount of indentation is up to you, but it must be consistent throughout the block. Indentation means how many spaces you want to leave before that. So uh, if you have left with 4 spaces initially, so you need to keep it to 4 spaces every time for that level. Or here you can see that this is for loop is your suppose first level, then print and if they are at the second level, break is inside if, so we can consider that this is the third level. Fine. So print and if are on the same level, and then break is inside one level. So this is indentation. You have put some blank spaces before print, same number of blank spaces before if, same number of so more spaces before break, because it is under if. So the amount of indentation is up to you, but it must be consistent throughout that block. Generally, 4 white spaces are used for indentation and are preferred over tabs, because tab, otherwise what you can do is inside you can set number of spaces in the tab also one time, and every time you are pressing the tab, so that number of spaces will come when you are pressing the tab. So otherwise, this is a simple guideline that 4 spaces to be used for indentation. So this is one of the example in which 4 is the level 1. Under that you have print and if, and under if you have break. The enforcement of indentation in Python makes the code look neat and clean. Is it clear to all? Neat and clean?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You are able to understand that what code is under which code. Fine.
Yes,
This
sir.
results in Python programs that look similar and consistent. So these are the, so how, see, whenever now you will be learning the concepts further, so you will be gaining some points for your weaknesses and strengths as well. So go on adding these points into the strength notes, go on adding the points in the weakness notes also, and those notes will be your exclusive notes because these will not be available in the books. So here you can see that indentation is the strength of the Python, which makes the code look neat and clean. So this becomes the strength of the Python. Then indentation can be ignored in line continuation, but it's always a good idea to indent. So when you are doing explicit line continuation, so their indentation can be ignored and there will be no error from the interpreter, but it is always advisable that you follow the indent. So what is the benefit of it? It makes the code more readable. It was the feature of that Python that it makes the code more readable. So here how it becomes code more readable. So let's take the example. If is a conditional statement, then we can use true or false. So if true, right, if true, print hello a equal to 5. So how many statements are there under this? Two statements. Fine. So basically we can say if true, print hello. Fine. And a equal to 5. So if you analyze it, and another example you take is if true, print hello semicolon a equal to 5. Now multiple statements written in one line by putting the semicolon in between. So both the code snippets are valid and do the same thing, but the former style is clearer. Fine. And incorrect indentation will result in indentation error. So what will happen is, if you are not indenting it well, if the code is not indenting well, you have put less spaces or more spaces during indentation, you will get indentation error. So now you can note down in your copies that one error that you can face while doing the programming can be indentation error. If you are facing the indentation error, what kind of error you are facing is you have not indented your code well. And what has happened? You have put more spaces or less spaces. Then you need to check that where indentation problem you have made. Got it?
Okay, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, sir.
Now, next we move Python comments. So, whenever we are writing a big code, right? So, suppose we have written the code today, but after 10 years, I want to revise my code. But till that time, I must have forgotten what code I have written, what variables I have used. This part of code is doing what purpose, solving what purpose. So for keeping in mind and making it understandable and readable in future as well, we are putting comments over there. And anybody who knows about the thumb rule of comments? So comments are very important while writing a program. They describe what is going on inside a program so that a person looking at the source code, okay, so
Yes, sir.
that a person looking at the source code does not have a hard time figuring it out, means that it is able to, he or she is able to understand, read your code well by looking at your comments as well, and they are able to understand the purpose of the code what you have written. Fine. You might forget the key details of the program you just wrote in a month's time. I have taken 10 years, but they have given example of months time. So even after a month, you will be forgetting what you have written. So taking the time to explain these concepts in the form of comments is always fruitful. So in Python, we use hash symbol to start writing a comment. So whenever you have to insert a comment inside your Python program, you put that hash symbol before that line, before that comment. So what will happen is Python interpreter will ignore what you have written after this hash. Okay, so this is comment. So it will ignore and go to the next line. Again, there is a hash. It will not read out what has been written after this hash, and it will go to the next line. So it extends up to the new line character. Comments are for programmers who to better understand a program. So Python interpreter ignores comments. It will not interpret. It will be ignored. Got it? So
Yes, sir.
you can see three line of code over here. First is a comment, another is a comment, and third is the actually print statement. So this print statement at the third line will be interpreted, and first two will not be interpreted. They will be ignored by the Python interpreter. Comments are description that helps programmers better understand the intent and functionality of the program. They are completely ignored by the Python interpreter. So what are the advantages of using comments? Using comments in the program makes our code more understandable. It makes the program more readable, which helps us remember why certain blocks of code are written. So is it all clear to all? I think. So other than that, comments can also be used to ignore some code while testing other blocks of code. This offers a simple way to prevent the execution of some lines or provide or write a quick pseudo code for the program. So clear about the advantages of using comments. So this is self-understandable. Fine. Now Python comments coming again. Here we can see that the second line of the program is a string, but is not assigned to any variable or a function. Yeah, so you can put single line or double line, single quote or double quote, and even you can put the triple quotes when you are talking about multi-line strings. So example you can see over here is using string literals to write multi-line comments. So you can see over here that uh, uh, single quote and double quote, it makes three quotes for writing the comment. So this is I am a multi-line comment. So then again you have a multi-line comment. So here the multi-line string is not assigned to any variable, so it is ignored by the interpreter, even though it is not technically a multi-line comment, but it can be used as one. Because when you are putting single quote, or you're putting double quote, or you're putting three quotes, so then again it means this is a multi-line comment. So multi-line comments starts and ends. So there can be a number of lines in between the comment. So if it is starting with a triple quotes and ending at three triple quotes, so in between whatever is coming, that is ignored by the Python interpreter. So Python docstrings, by convention, the triple quotes that appear right after the function, method, or class definition are docstrings, documentation strings. Docstrings are associated with objects and can be accessed using this attribute. So docstrings, this I have already given one link over here. So what do you mean by docstrings? So what do you mean by that? Here you can see over here that basically this is a docstring. Fine. So basically in Java also, if you look at this docstrings can be used for doing some documentation sort of thing. Means there are some predefined rules whenever you are writing some function or classes or methods. So they are listed down, and when you click on that, so you can get the information about that. So this is documentation, so we'll be coming later on that. If you want to learn more, so you can just go on this website and you can find out details about this doc strings. So multi-line comments we have already seen. We can have comments that extend up to multiple lines. One way is to use hash symbol, so that we have already seen. So this is the hash symbol. Here also we have the hash symbol. Here also we have the hash symbol. So we have the hash symbol in front of that. So even though there is no unique way to write multi-line comments in Python, we know that the Python interpreter ignores. So it is ignoring what? String literals. So that are not assigned to a variable. So we can write a single line comment. As another way of doing is, like you can use this triple or 3 times double quotes. These triple quotes are generally used for multi-line strings, but they can be used as multi-line comment as well. So unless they are not, so this is important part, unless they are not doc strings, they do not generate any extra code. So here this is, and so it means we have started with these 3 triple quotes, and here we have end over here, and this whole becomes your comment. Got? Okay. So how to write better comments? Use comments to describe what a function does, and not the specific details on how the function does it. Just what a function does to be written into your comment. Try to remove as many redundant comments as possible. So do not write same comment again and again. Try writing code that can explain itself using better function and variable name choice. So yesterday also we have talked about that when you are keeping the name of the function, you are keeping the name of the variable. So the name of the variable reflects the functionality of that variable. If we are storing the roll number inside that variable, keep the name of the variable related to roll number. Not write A, B, C, D, A underscore B, A underscore, no, A1, B1, no, this is wrong. Not wrong, but that is not advisable. Try to make the comments as short and concise as possible. So this is how to write better. Explains over here, variable means varies, right? Something that varies. Okay, so if I have written A equal to 2, means this is an assignment statement, and A is a variable. Variable means anything, any name you have kept, which is a variable, and you are assigning the value 2 to it. Got it? So
Yes, sir.
now I am writing in the next statement A equal to 3. Now the value of A will become 3. The value of that variable will change. So it varies. The value can vary, right? So that is variable. So then we have the variable types. We'll moving further. What variables and variable types? So what is a variable? Variable is a named location. Okay, so let's we correlate this variable. Let's we correlate this memory with your colony where you people are staying. Okay, so consider that colony to be a variable, colony to be a memory, and there are number of houses, and consider those houses to be memory locations,
Okay,
and
sir.
every house has unique number for its identification, like house number 10, house number 12, house number 56, right?
Yes, sir.
So it means they are the memory locations of memory, right? So memory is divided into blocks, and each block has been given unique number. So consider that memory to be a colony and the memory blocks to be the houses, and each house has been given one unique number. So here you can now see a variable. So variable is a named location. A variable is a named location. Named location means named memory location, and you are giving particular name of your choice to that memory location. Like we have seen the example of A, B, C, roll number, whatever, right? So it is a named location, and name you are giving of your own choice. Used to, and this is used for storing the data in the memory. So the variable is used for storing the data in the memory. It is helpful to think of variables as a container, right? You have buckets, you have almiras in your house, you are storing something into it, it is acting as container. So correlate that with variable. But in variable you are holding the data. In your houses you are storing, you are holding the household material. So that can be changed later. What do you mean by changed later? So if you have kept some household material in one almirah, you can take them out and you can keep something else into that also. So similarly, the case of variable, if you have written something into it, you have stored something into it, later on you can change to some other value also in the program. That's why it is variable whose value can vary. So this is the example in which this is the name of the variable. Name of the variable is number, and what value you have stored into it? 10. So here we have created a variable with the name number, and we have assigned the value as 10 to the variable. You can think of variables as a bag for storing books. Got the point? So your bag is a variable in which you are storing books into it, and that book can be replaced anytime. You can keep any book inside, you can take any book from that bag. So number equal to 10, initially we have given 10 into this number, then you have stored 1.1 into that number, so you have changed from 10 to 1.1.
1.1.
Initially the value of the number was 10, and later it has been changed to 1.1. In Python we do not actually assign, so this is very important, and you all will be doing research on it, and tomorrow I'll be asking you this question. This is very important. In Python we do not actually assign values to the variables. Instead, Python gives the reference of the object to the variable. Assigning values to the variable. So here we can see how we are writing the code. As you can see from the above example, you can you have used assignment operator over here, right? In the last you have used this assignment operator. Fine, this is the assignment operator. So here, can you write 10 equal to number? Can you write it? First you can write 10 and then you can write number. So you cannot keep the name as 10 as the variable name. Okay,
Yes.
and you cannot put number number into 10. Okay, so the direction of writing also matters. Okay, so association rules, anybody knows about that? Left to right, right to left, and assignment operator has the association as left to right. It will be processed left to right. So variable name will be on the left side and value will be on the right side.
Right, sir.
So you can use the assignment operator this to assign to a variable. Declaring and assigning to a variable. So here you have seen yesterday that this is your command prompt for the Python.
Yes, sir.
Then you have written this website as the variable name, and then here you are writing the value
Value.
for this variable, and then you are writing the statement print And what is the name of the variable? Website.
Website.
And you are telling the Python interpreter to write the value of the website. And then you are pressing the enter, you are getting apple.com. Fine. This is the value that we have stored. It comes. In the above program, we assigned a value apple.com to the variable website, and then we printed out the value assigned to our website apple.com. So Python is a type inferred language, right? This is very important statement. Type inferred language. Have you written something in front of that variable name website? No. So the Python has assumed from itself that this is string. So that's why it has inferred the type of the variable from its own judgment. Got it? We are not
Yes.
explicitly writing the data type over here. Integer, float, string, list, dictionary, no. So it is interpreted by the Python, interpreted by its own. So that's why it is known as Python is a, what is
Type
that?
type inferred.
Type
Type inferred
inferred
language.
language. So you don't have to explicitly define the variable type. It automatically knows that apple.com is a string and declares the website variable as a string. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Next example, website equal to apple.com. This is the variable is website and value we have given is apple.com, and we have enclosed apple.com inside the double quotes. Then we have written the statement for printing the value of the website variable. Then we have written the comment that is started with a hash, assigning a new variable to the website. It is not variable, it should be new value. So website equal to program is.com, print website. So it will print apple.com via this statement, and when the value of the website has changed, this print will be printing this program is.com. So in the above program, we have assigned apple.com to the website variable initially, and then we have changed to program is.com. So you all will be practicing all these examples after the class in your Python. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Then is you have written over here a comma b comma c equal to 5 comma 3.2 comma hello. So here this is also true, this is also correct in Python. You have declared three variables. First variable name is a, another is b, another is c, and you have assigned the values in sequence: a to 5, b to 3.2, and c to hello. Okay. So it is a will be become, so it will automatically interpret that this is integer, this is float, this is string. So you can write the statement as print a, print b, print c. So you can assign the same value to three variables like this: x equal to y equal to z equal to same. So x, if you print this, so it will display same, same, same. The second program assigns the same string to all the three variables x, y, z. Then is a constant. So constant, as we have seen, variable, right? Variable means whose value can vary. Got it? But constant means whose variable means whose value can vary in the program. So at one moment of time, its value is 10, but after 3-4 lines, I am changing the value to 13. So it means its value can vary. But constant means a constant is a type of variable whose value cannot be changed. It is helpful to think of constant as containers that hold information which cannot be changed later. Got it? You can think of constant as a bag of store of some books which cannot be replaced when placed inside the bag. So assigning value to the constant in Python, constants are usually declared and assigned in a module. The module, it is a new file containing variables, functions, etc., which is imported to the main file. So this is also a good practice. You know why? Because sometimes what happens is there are when you are developing a big project, there are some of the, you know, we can say file paths are there, or other some other information is there that will remain constant throughout the programming. But when you are handing over that program to your client, you need to make changes corresponding to that. And you want that if I change that, I make the changes at one place, it should be reflected all over in your project. So what you do is you write a new file and mention all those variables and constants or functions in that file. You import that file, and if you make the changes in the file, it will be automatically reflected throughout the project. Sometimes it is also, we can say, that configuration file. You must have heard about that. So inside the module, constants are written in all the, so this is also important, constants are written in all capital letters, and underscore separating the words. If there are multiple words in the name, so you use underscore in that. So this is how you are, you have kept the name of that file as constant.py. So .py is the extension of the Python file. So .py, like .doc is there, right? So similarly, .py is there. So pi, the value of the pi 3.14, value of gravity 9.8. So you have kept all. So these are the constants. Now this is the now you have the main program. So the name of the program is main.py. So what you are doing is you are importing that file. How you are importing? Import the name of the file. So then you are using the name of the file, okay, that is constant dot whatever constant you want to use. So constant dot pi, constant dot gravity. So it will be displaying the values what you have stored. So in the above program, we have created a constant.py module file. Then we assign the constant value to pi and gravity, and after that we created a main.py file and imported the constant file. So this is how you have imported, by writing the statement as import name of the file. Okay, so finally, and we printed the constant value. So this is very important note. In reality, we do not use constant in Python. Naming them in all capital letters is a convention to separate them from variables. However, it does not actually prevent reassignment. So if you remember, in C, C++, Java, there is a keyword const, C-O-N-S-T. So if you have prefixed const and then you have written variable name equal to something, so it means that that variable has become the constant. And after some lines of code, if you try to change the value of that constant, you are not able to, because we have already declared that it is constant. But this is not the case with the Python, because there are no concepts of Python, but you are just differentiating uh, variables with the constants by just putting the capital letters. So you can reassign the value of that constant. So this is also one of the difference that you can just point out whenever there is required.
Sir.
Okay, so now rules and naming convention for variables and constants, they are simple. So what are the combination of letters you can use for composing the name? Like you can use small a to small z, uppercase capital A to capital Z, and then digits 0 to 9, or you can use underscore. So these are the examples: snake underscore case, macro underscore case, camel case, cap words. Then create a, so this is important. This is just, guideline. Create a name that makes sense. For example, vowel makes more sense than V. If you want to create a variable name having two words, use underscore to separate them. My underscore name, current underscore salary. Use capital letters possible to declare a constant like this. Never use symbols like this. Okay, they can create problem. Do not start the variable name with a digit. So these are the rules and naming conventions for variable and constants. Then we comes to literals, right? Literals, and then we are talking about numeral literals. So literal is a raw data given in a variable or constant. So this is a literal. Fine, this is literal. In Python, there are various type of literals. They are as follows. First, we are talking about numeric literal that are immutable, means unchangeable. Numeric literals can belong to three different numerical types: integer, float, and complex. Right. So if you look at this example, we are having number of literals. uh, A has been given this, B has been given this, C has been given this, D. So if it is a binary, so it is starting with 0B. If it is this is decimal, this is octal, in which 0 then 0x. So we assigned integer literals into different variables. Here A is a binary, B is a decimal, C is a octal, and D is a hexadecimal. And when you are printing it, so all the literals will be converting into decimal values. So this is the important part over here. So then we have the floating points. So we have kept the name as this and this. So these are the floating point literals, and this will be expressed with the exponential and is equivalent to this. So you can see, so this is about the ABCD, and this is about float 1 and float 2. And this is the complex literal, in which we have combined integer with this. So this is a variable x. So yeah, so here you can see, then we use imaginary literal, right? So real and imaginary, I hope you must have read about that. So create the imaginary a real part of the complex numbers. So this is how you can mention the complex numbers. So this is x means 3.1j, and then you can print the imaginary part and the real part. So here first x dot img imaginary part, x dot real part. So real part is 0.0 and imaginary part is 3.14. This is about literals. Literals means the values that you are assigning to the variables. So these are about the string literals, in which this is you have assigned something. A string literal is a sequence of characters surrounded by double quotes. We can use both single, double, or triple quotes for a string. And a character literal is a single character. Character single is a single character surrounded by single or double characters. So it can be this C can be surrounded by single, or it can be double. So you can see the examples over here, and it is printing like this. So in the above program, this is Python is a string literal, and this is a string literal, and C is a character literal. The value of triple quotes assigned to multi-line underscore string is a multi-line string literal. The string this, so you can see this, just explore this after the class. This is Unicode, right? So Unicode literal, which supports characters other than English. If you want to write something in Punjabi or Hindi over here, so you can write Punjabi, Hindi also over here. So this is in
Note.
Boolean we have true or false, right? In Boolean literals we are having only true or false. So you are writing true or false. X equal to 1 double equal to true, 1 double equal to false. So 1 is, so X is true because 1 other than 0 is always true. Okay, but other than this is 1, so it is false, so that's why it is false. True is represented by 1 and false is represented by 0. So if you are adding true plus 4, it is giving you 5. False plus 0, 0 plus 10, it gives 0. In the above program, we use Boolean literal, true and false, In Python, true represents the value 1 and false represents 0. The value of x is true because 1 is equal to true, and false because 1 is not equal to false. So these are the boolean. So now we come to the special literals. So Python contains one special literal, that is none, right? We use it to specify the field has not, that the field has not been created. Drink is available, food equal to none. So define menu x. If x is equal to drink, print drink, else print food. Menu drink, menu food. So food is not available. So here available in the above program, we define menu function, right? Inside the menu, when we set the argument as drink, then it displays available, and when argument is food, it is none. So better to explore this special literal in detail, because this is the specialty of the Python. And whenever you are learning a new language, whatever new things you are finding, so you should explore in detail and keep the notes on that, so that whenever there some interview in interview, they can ask you, do you know some special literals? So if you have the answer, you can explain it very well. Then literal collections. So you can make the collection of the literals as a list. So we'll be coming to this list also. Fruits, if you are putting into the double quotes, this becomes list, right? If you are putting into the parenthesis, it becomes tuple. If you are putting as um, key value pair, so this is a dictionary. And if you are using braces and putting into, this becomes a set. So you have list literal, you have tuple literal, you have dictionary literal, you have set literal. Got it? So in the above program, we created list of fruits, tuple of numbers, dictionary having values and keys designed to each value, and set of vowels. And this is how the results will be displayed onto the screen.